Good morning, party people. Welcome to the Breakdown with Nath and just Nath today. Sadly, Johnny, Texty Boy Johnny, is busy AF right now, and I put a thing out to our wonderful Patreon members, which you can sign up for if you want to do that. Link is down in the description. Asking about content in the meantime because he doesn't have time to film. We want to give you guys what you want, and that seems to be you want to hear a review for Taking Back to Eden by Sleep Token. We've had so many comments about this one, so I thought rather than just missing it out altogether, as I said, I put it to the Patreon and said, do you want me to do it by myself? And we got a resounding, is that a word? Resounding, yes, overwhelming. So if this sucks, I'm so sorry. We have said this before. This channel was never meant to be a one-on-one thing. But as you guys have requested, it's going to be. Just until Johnny comes back. We'll still have reactions coming up this whole time, but for a few extra bits of content like this one, I thought I'd jump on here, seeing as this is my studio in my office, so I have a bit more time to record. Let's get into things. So if you have been on the channel before, you will have seen we did reactions to a whole bunch of the tracks off Taking Back to Eden. Chokehold, The Summoning, Granite, Aqua Regia, Vor have all been covered off, as well as DYWTYLM. Don't you wish that you yelled like me? I believe is what the title was. Do you wish that you love me? We covered off all those ones. Interestingly, I actually thought that was going to be like a sequential playthrough on the album. It almost is, and then they threw the Do You Wish You Love Me just right back in the second half of the album just to kind of keep us on our toes. But I'm not going to cover off those songs we've already done because we have talked about them in full. If you want to see that, go search those videos. They are on our channel. I thought I'd just go through track by track and give you an overview of the songs that we haven't checked out, what's come, and you can kind of hear our review of this one. So luckily, Johnny and I were been able to have this album for a couple of weeks now. We were sent this quite early and we had to sit on it very quietly, but it means we've had time to truly listen through to it. And I'm so excited it is now live for you guys to check out in full. This has the potential to be album of the year. And I know it's early in the year and that's a big call, but this is a seamless album for me. There's no song on here that I skip. I've listened to this through so many times already. And even the songs that we've already been sitting on, like Granite, The Summoning, those early tracks that I've heard so many times already, they still don't get skipped when I listen through. What Sleep Token have done here is they've created a world so quickly that you sort of just like fall into. The soundscape is uniquely theirs. It sounds like them. Every song has elements that you've heard from them before and is unique. And I think they've tied it all together so well. And that kind of plays through the track listing here. So we'll jump into the first track that we haven't talked about before, Ascensionism. This is the first really big open track that we hear on the album that sort of has the same sort of feel that The Summoning does, in that it twists and turns through so many different genres and influences, but seamlessly it makes it one big song. This is going to be a weird comparison, but it kind of feels like Green Day for me. When they released American Idiot and they had these like massive 12 songs, like punk rock operas, this feels like a bit of a genty opera to me. It's huge in its expanse and its storytelling, and there's elements of that. It comes through like little trap beats in one spot and then beautiful pianos, and then all of a sudden it's this super heavy, chuggy riffs, but it doesn't feel disjointed. It doesn't feel like what song am I listening to now. It actually flows really well. So I think having this as like that midpoint of the album and the first song that we had not yet really heard really shows it being like, don't think you've heard it at all before. I think that's really cool. The next song after that, Are You Really Okay? This is one of my favorite tracks on the album. This is a beautiful alt rock is the only way to describe this track. It follows more of a traditional song structure, slowly building throughout. But this song about love and self-hurt is so beautiful. It gets me every single time. That like final line, please don't hurt yourself again, kind of kills me every single time. So this was a massive standout for me straight away. Just the beautiful guitar work in it, really lovely chord progression, and then building the whole band as it grows on. Super cool. The Apparition. If I was to skip one song on the album, it would be this one. I don't know why. It's still a great song, and it's not by any means a bad song, but it's just the one for me that didn't stand out as much as the other ones. The song, from a lyrical perspective, hang on, I'll read my notes here. From a lyrical perspective, it still tells a really cool story. It goes through and has some real heavy moments in it. But I think when I put it next to either song, either side, so Are You Really Okay? And then after that, Do You Wish That You Love Me? Which again is one of the standout tracks in the album for me. Maybe it's the song choice and where it sits. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't grip me every time. But as I said, still a great song. I would love to hear it live, but it's the one song on the album for me that I'm not like, that was flawless. As we said, gonna skip over Do You Wish You Love Me? Rain. This is an interesting song. It has almost like metalcore elements in it, but not super heavy. I don't know, but lyrically, this is such a cool song. I love this kind of the story about like washing everything away and starting fresh, and that person being that. I think that's really, really cool. I've seen some interesting feedback on the title track. Now, again, Take Me Back to Eden is a long, expansive track that flows through so many different genres, pays tribute to everything that Sleep Token's done before. It's expansive and fun, and I love it. I think it's a really great track. I thought this might be the final track. I listened to this without looking at the names the first few times through, and I was like, okay, that might be it. And so I thought they'd finish on a really strong note, and then they finished with You Sled. And this is my standout. This is my favorite track of the album by far. I've listened to this song on repeat so many times. If any of you follow me on Instagram, I've been putting it behind my stories. I've been putting it as like a little notes thing. I've been sharing it on videos. This song for me is testament to the band that just doesn't follow the rules. It's more pop driven than anything else they've done, but still has this awesome rock element to it. The keys in it, the production, the building the song. This song is just, it hits me in a way I didn't expect. And I've said that so many times with their stuff, but usually for me, I don't know, it has this groove element to it that I think they teased in stuff like Chokehold and in Granite, but then morphed it into something else. That's how to do a finishing track. I know some bands kind of save, like, they let the albums peter off at the end. Sleep Token have not done that. They start strong, they finish even stronger. This is a 10 out of 10 album for me. As I said, there's not a single song I'd skip. I'm so, so proud of the boys. The live performance is phenomenal. If you have a chance to see them, please go and do that. I'm so excited to hear this thing. I hope they tour it in full. That would be incredible. I would love to hear this thing back to back. But I'm just so excited that you guys finally get a chance to listen to this in the same way we have. I want to thank Sleep Token as well for the opportunities they've helped us with on the channel and sharing with you guys. But I would love to hear your thoughts. As I said, sadly, Texty Boy Johnny isn't here right now. I don't know if he's even had a chance to listen to it the same way I have. He's moving house, he's busy working, he's got kids, he's got so much going on right now. So he and I haven't even discussed what he thinks of the album yet. I would love to hear from you guys in the meantime, though. What did you think? What are your favorite tracks? What moments hit you the hardest? I know so many of our party people actually toured around Australia with them when they toured here recently. That was so sick to see. People going from Melbourne to Sydney to Brisbane to Adelaide across to Perth. Like, people travel the whole way to follow this band. I think it's so cool seeing the cultish following they've got. I truly do think they're worth the hype. But I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts too. So jump in the comments, let me know, and hopefully we'll see Texty Boy back soon. In the meantime, I love you. I think you're incredible. You're going to do great things.